let me try to do that. Okay, great. Thank you. We've been having issues with the network, so that's made things interesting this morning. This is a finding of fact for Cody and Amanda Eck for property at 2175 North 45th East. The Planning Commission held a public hearing on February 26, 2020, and the request came before the County Commissioners on June 2nd, 2020. We have determined that it is consistent with the comprehensive plan, and we have the typical conditions in a rezoning to R2, with the one exception that the zone change be limited to only single-family homes, which is consistent with the surrounding area. Are there any questions? Do you need more information?
This is in the impact area of Iona, so it has larger lot requirements and the minimum lot size stuff, which is one of the reasons we're doing the limitation on the R2 zone.
Okay.
Got the one typo fixed, so.
Yes. And I found one other. So both are corrected. And there is information in there about Iona impact area.
Do you want to, keep scrolling down through the rest of the conclusions? If anybody, I've got a copy in front of me, but. You guys have any questions? Dave?
I don't. No.
Approve that one.
Ryan, you're muted.
Thanks, Austin. No, I don't. I think it looks good. I looked at it. I would make a motion that we approve as written.
Yeah, second.
Okay, I agree. So we'll get that signed. Okay, now Austin, do you want to, I guess you have it where you can share the screen.
Yeah. So this was a comp plan change for HK Contractors. It's located east of US Highway 20 and the Eastern Idaho Railroad and north of 49th North and east of 1523 East 49th North. What they were applying for was commercial mixed use to industrial. It was heard in P&Z February 26, 2020, heard by the commissioners June 2nd, 2020. And it has most of the normal gravel pit conditions, such as buffering. One unique condition that I had added that was asked for in the commissioner's hearing was condition F, or conclusion F, which was in order to protect the existing homeowner at the southeast corner of the tract of land, the 25-foot strip west of the home will not be allowed used as an industrial roadway, which I think they are now deeding that property anyways, so I don't know if you wanted to take that out or what we need to do with that. So yeah, is there any questions for me on that portion of the finding?
Why did it change? You say they're deeding that now anyway? They decide not to keep that out?
They have an agreement to deed that piece of property to the neighbor, don't they, Michelle?
Yes, they do.
So
it was part of the preliminary plat.
I don't know if we should just take that out or leave it in there.
They haven't processed the deeds yet, so I would probably recommend leaving it in just in case that
Okay.
And we're making the decision based on what happened what was there at the time. So if they deed it afterwards, it should still be.
And there was extensive conversation about that, so at the Planning Commission hearing.
Okay,
I make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
okay, and I agree.
Okay.
I just wanted, if that's all the business we have scheduled, I wanted Austin to let you know an incident that occurred at the last planning and zoning meeting with one of our board members after the meeting.
So after our last P&Z meeting, when we did, I guess it was for the motocross track, can't think of the name, wide, but they had come in and the board made their decision, and then afterwards, Kim Ryan was out in the lobby with the applicant for the wide property, and he made a comment to him that it should have never come to P&Z anyways. It was a waste of time, that the zoning administrator had said no. And the person who was against it, who had filed the complaint in our office, was standing right behind him, and I was standing about 2 feet behind him. And that led to the applicant calling me the next day on the phone saying that board members were telling him that we were wasting his time. So he was asking for a refund for his appeal money, which I told him that we would not give to him because it was his decision to appeal the decision of the zoning administrator. So it was his responsibility to cover the cost of that hearing, just as it would be if someone was to appeal the decision that was made in the meeting that night. And he agreed with that and was okay with that. I just think that it was a little out of line that board members, or that board member, was telling him after the meeting that we were wasting his time. So
Kim vote.
what was that?
How did Kim vote?
He voted for it.
Roger, this is the case that I was telling you about earlier today.
Right, and we're both, there's 2 of them she's wanting to schedule, but they both had a fair number of citizens in there. I'd like to hold off on those till we see this thing die down, because I guess the room was pretty crowded to keep the proper distancing. You know, unless we can require them to attend by Zoom, but I think you still have to leave them the option to come in.
We need to get that TV set up outside so that we can put seating out there. That'll facilitate another 10, 15 people at least or more.
Yeah, and that's what I was talking to Michelle about. You know, because they can sit out there and then they'll have to wait and sanitize when they come in, and you know, if they want to do it that way or participate by Zoom.
Yeah. So did somebody say something to Kim to help him understand that we need to be a little more careful than that?
That'd probably be my responsibility.
Okay.
We've had the discussion a few other times with Kim, and apparently it doesn't sink home.
Thanks for doing the heavy lifting, Roger.
Well, I think can't be doing that. You know, we've had issues before. So,
okay.
You know,
They're still volunteers. At the end of the day, they're still volunteers.
Well, but they can't put us in legal jeopardy whether they volunteer or not.
Right.
And we have to be more careful, especially on ones like this. And I'm going to have to make sure he doesn't try to express that opinion to me at all.
Yeah.
What was the appeal cost? Was it $1,500? How much was it?
I think it was like
It was
$451.
$451.
Okay. All right.
And apparently the guy who raised the issue of violation with planning and zoning, has appealed planning and zoning's decision. So we
Yeah.
still have to be real careful about this one.
The decision to approve, it's been appealed.
They overrode planning and zoning's decision by a 4-3 vote.
Okay.
And so the guy that was complaining originally filed an appeal of the planning commission's decision.
It's a muddy one, so I apologize.
That is yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
The appeal lived close to the proposed track then?
He already built the track. It's already there.
You'll hear the
And yes, it's right next to their property.
Thanks, Michelle. Steve. I just have one quick question for Steve. You're not feeling well, Steve? Is that what I understood?
No, I don't have a question. I am positive, so. No, I don't feel well. Starla does not feel well. We're both pretty down. She's down way more than I am.
I'm sorry.
To the point if I can't keep her oxygen levels up with the oxygen machine, we will end up putting her in the hospital.
I wish you Godspeed there. I wish you well, Steve.
Thank you.
All right, thanks.
I see you.
Thank you.
Hey, Austin,
Yeah,
slip in my office afterwards so I can make sure I understand what was said before I talk to Steve, or I mean to Kim.